Who was Sam A. Kinney?
Well, Sam was a real good friend, and of course he was my neighbor. He lived about 25 feet from me. One evening back in '86, I stopped in to see Sam. It was kind of late at night, maybe 8:30. He made us a drink. He said, "Sit down, let's have a visit." So he started talking about his life in general, and when he left the Secret Service, and he started getting in detail about his days at the agency, and he said he definitely saw and heard the shot from the grassy knoll. He said, "I heard that, and I saw some smoke." I said, "Well, that's interesting because, you've never talked about that to me before." He said, "Well," and then he talked further on about a conspiracy. He says, it's impossible to take out a president, a leader of a country like ours, without some kind of a conspiracy." He said, "One man can't do this. Could have happened, it may have happened this way, but when he said it, it had a lot more meaning. He was there. He was in the car behind the presidential limo. He had full field of vision, But then he told me something. It kind of is going to close the case on a 50-year-old mystery where the bullet CE-399 came from and how it got there. That's the bullet was found on the stretcher at Parkland Memorial Hospital. And Sam had found this while cleaning up the car and going through the presidential car. And he just picked it up and laid it on that stretcher. Never said a word. And when we got all done, he says, you can tell this stuff. And I said, "Okay, I'll tell it. If you want it out there, I'll tell it." He says, "But I think you better wait until I die." I said, "Okay." I said, "I hope it isn't any time soon." I thought the 50th anniversary was a good time to tell this because he wanted it told. I'm not looking for fame or fortune. I'm just the messenger here. I think he wanted to clear up the mystery of how that book, he wanted to get the car cleaned up, and he didn't want the president to be remembered like that. And he just thought he was doing something for his president, not even considering a crime scene. I'm sure that day it was such a surprise and shock. I don't even think he'd even thought about it. But he was loyal to the president, and that's the way he took care of business. He was covering his back, and that was it. He didn't really go into great detail about it. As far as cleaning the car, he got the cars ready, put the top on them, and got them back to the airport, and got them loaded aboard the 130 and back to Edwards Air Force Base.
You're a Marine, from what I understand, and you've never been one to necessarily believe in conspiracies, but this really touched you, and this personal information that you received from Sam was important to you. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I was quite amazed that he trusted me with that information, He wanted it put forth. People who knew Sam, he was quite a straight shooter. People who know me know I wouldn't do something stupid like this if it wasn't true. But he picked who he would talk about it to. He just didn't talk about it to everybody. Kept, security on him. He even went to the Ford plant when they were being built. He would be there with the cars. And he stayed on as an agent until President Johnson came in and retired when President Johnson was in office.
Gary, let me ask you this. A lot of people are concerned about LBJ's role in this. Did he speak of LBJ as a suspicious party?
Well, one time we were visiting, and he said something to the effect of, when something like this happens, you have to look to see who would benefit the most. And he said all the fingers were pointing at LBJ. He did say that.
How you feel this is so important?
The basic 3 topics that I wanted to get out was that he did feel, and that a shot came from the grassy knoll. He said he saw smoke, heard the shot. He also thought that there was a conspiracy to shoot his president because one man couldn't do it. And he's probably right on the money. One man couldn't do it. He definitely wanted it out there. He asked me to take care of business after his death, and he was my friend, and I'm doing that today. It's a good time to get it out on the 50th. So it may have some impact. I hope it answers a question, confirms a couple. Glad to do it.